Good morning and welcome to the market report. Today is February 1st, 2019. It's a Friday. Glad to have all you guys here. Let's get started. Now, here's the thing. We got the German bank, Deutsche Bank, She's starting to slide again, guys. She's starting to go back down to her previous lows. She did have a little bit of bounce. I think it had something to do with Qatar. Qatar has been in there, before. This isn't the first time. But now she's starting to slide again. She's getting down near her all-time lows. We're going to check into that, and we're going to get the market report open. We're going to start the charts right here. Did it start? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at the silver price first thing. We've seen a bit of a climb in the price of silver and gold lately. And it looks like it's climbing right now while I'm talking. It's 16.02, and we're supposedly down a penny. But anything above $16 looks darn good to me. 16.02, and it really looks like it's climbing right now, right this second. But it's made a new range there in around 16 bucks. Now let's take a look at gold. Gold is $13.22. It's up $1.30 today. And it's on the high side of it. Its new range is created for itself, but this is looking good. This is looking like a solid recovery for gold and silver, and it's starting to go back into. Well, it's always been in the bull market. This whole bear market we've had is inside a larger bull market. That's what the charts say, anyway. Let's move on and take a look at cryptocurrency today. We're looking at. It's been going nowhere lately, But it's running out this bear market that it's been in, and okay, so it's $3,431 today, and it hasn't been going a whole lot with price lately, but here we go, $3,431 at Bitstamp, and the price has been staying in around that $3,400 range. So let's move on to cryptocurrency today and take a look with the market capital and everything in coin market cap. 114 billion. Now it was 113 billion, so it's gained about a billion, overnight. And the coins, the altcoins have moved up a little bit. You can see they're all starting to pop just a little bit. Litecoin's at $32.46. Bitcoin Cash is 116 bucks. Ethereum's $107. XRP's 30 cents. There's a few of them that are XRP is one of the only ones that's in the red today, but it's only very marginally in the red, just a small amount. Some of them are up a little bit more than others. Litecoin is up, probably one of the most that's up. It's up 2.89% today on the day so far. 32.46 for Litecoin. Well, now we're going to move on to the stock market. I'm going to refresh the page here. We're up 49 points on the day right now, and it's at 25,025. That's what the market's at today, and it's been buoyed an awful lot, really, considering that these are only statements that Fed chairman has made about what they might do, and the market's really buoyed an awful lot, and we had these lows put in back in December 24th of 21,794, and that was starting to get a little bit scary there. But if the Fed continues with their policies and they don't make these changes, this buoying of the market could go away. It could evaporate awful quick. Let's take a look now at crude oil. $54.13 today, and this is for sweet light crude oil, and we see the crude oil is being buoyed too in price from the lows that it put in. The lowest low was on the 24th, that's December 24th, and it was $43.93. And now it's $54.13, which is more than $10 a barrel up in price. That's quite a little jump, Let's take a look at bonds and rates today. We see all the bond yields are rising today, but not a lot. But the most is the 5-year. It's risen 2.6, over 2 basis points, 2.0, 2.6, 0.26, which is just over 2 basis points. The 10 years risen just over 1 basis point. The 30 years just marginally moved, and we're looking at 2.2 basis points on the 2-year. And the really short end of the curve's only moved marginally too. So it's the middle of the curve that's moving a lot. We're going to switch over here right now and take a look at the Italian bonds, bond yields, and see where they're moving today. They're all rising, the Italian bond yields, and it doesn't surprise me. I'm going to tell you what, these Italian bond yields are really far too low, considering what they are and what they're trying to, what's going on in Italy. And this is what to watch. This is the canary in the coal mine for Italy, right here, is these Italian bond yields. But we can see they're all moving up today, and quite a little bit today. Quite a little bit they're moving up today, the Italian bond yields. And I'm going to tell you what, if the Italian bond yields get too high, they're not going to be able to service the debt on these banks, these Italian banks. And this is the whole thing, is they're bought in, all these Italian banks have bought in very heavily to these Italian bonds, you know. And if you know about bonds, when the yields rise real quick, say you buy into bonds at a low yield, say you buy in at 2% yield, I'm just using that as an example, so you buy in at 2% yield on a bond, and say it moves up to 4%, bingo, bango, well, that bond isn't worth near as much as it was worth when it was at 2, when you bought in. Now the bonds lost a lot of its value. And this is what the Italian banks are invested in. Also, the German banks are heavily invested in Italian bonds, and so are the French banks, are heavily invested into Italian bonds. I think Deutsche Bank is heavily invested into Italian bonds. So these Italian bonds, it's too big. If it goes down, it's going to be worse than Deutsche Bank. If it all goes down, if these Italian bond yields rise too high, Italy's going to sink. And if Italy sinks, it's going to create a black hole in the financial system that's going to be bigger than Deutsche Bank. Let's take a look now at the U.S. dollar index, 95.50. Okay, it's down just a little bit today. We see a drop-off, a good little drop-off. Now, Powell, let's move on to what Powell. Oh, first let's take a look at the Deutsche Bank, and you can see it's 7.47. And you can see we're dropping down. And she's dropping today 3.58%. She's dropped, you know, and she's not up in the 8s anymore. She's in the mid 7s. I don't think she's dropped into the 6s yet, you know. Now, I predicted a while ago, I said if she drops below 6, the 6s, like below 6, gets down into the 5s, and she's going to slide real fast, and it's going to be over. And it'll be a Lehman moment. Basically, if Deutsche Bank goes down, that's big trouble too, you know. I mean, what can I say? Let's take a look at Powell here in inflation. Inflation. Before Powell wants to see inflation before the next rate hike. You know, I guess he wants to see inflation pop up there, you know, and before he's going to hike rates again. And it says that the Fed's preferred measure of inflation has increased to 1.8% in the past 12 months, slightly below the central bank's 2% target. I think real nominal inflation is actually quite a little bit higher. It's just that the way they count it, you know. There's an awful lot of price inflation in shrinkflation. They're actually in the grocery stores and stuff. Their products, they're chopping them down smaller and smaller and smaller, but they're the same price, but you're getting a less amount. Things like candy bars and stuff. Now it's just a one-bite candy bar. It used to be a candy bar about that long, and now your candy bars are this long, and they're the same price, and they say, well, a candy bar price hasn't changed, you know. Well, yeah, it has, because you're not getting as much. This is what they're pulling, stuff like this. But at any rate, there is a lot of inflation out there. You're paying more for everything. You're finding that the money goes through your wallet so much faster now than it used to. And but they say, well, there's only 2% inflation or whatever. Well, that means that the prices would take 50 years to double. I see prices doubling every 5 or 10 years. And so we know that inflation's not what they're measuring it at. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this market report. And we'll catch you again probably very soon, probably tomorrow morning. Well, I still got a little bit of jet lag. Trying to get over it. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye, guys.